Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back after a nice little hiatus to Thoughts of the Bench 2 Years Deep show with Deke and Greg. We took a week off because I had Halloween, and we took a week off because Greg had something.
I was dog sitting for a week, so I was dog sitting. Yep. I had two. Actually, also two dogs and a cat. Actually, now that I think about it, which could have gone, which was okay. Went better than I expected.
Yeah, so they were not all owned by the same individuals?
No, they were. They were.
Oh,
It
wow,
was,
okay.
yeah, it was friends of mine that took their two kids to Disney for the week for their birthday. And
Nice. That's cool.
yeah, I house sat for them, but man, oh man, I have never been around a dog more that is. They have a German Shepherd who's about to be 2.
Yeah.
Man, those dogs are anxious as hell.
Really?
Holy shit! Because German Shepherds are like herding dogs,
Yeah.
so like they're naturally they need to be like aware of like where everyone is and kind of like also focusing on like what's going on and stuff like that. So like they're constantly moving around and stuff. They have trouble relaxing. So like this dog, oh my god, was just very hard to manage.
Huh.
The other dog was completely fine, but like this one, like holy crap!
That's
like
good.
if I'm in the basement working and I have the door closed, he is like scratching at the door. He's like yelping and all these things, like because he like wants to make sure he wants to know where I am at all times.
I wonder if he was anxious because they were gone. Like if he was trying to
Well,
find them at all or something.
I think that's possible. I mean, like, because I did watch him last year and he wasn't that bad, but thankfully, like, thankfully I had some stuff to like help him relax at night,
good.
which was good. But like, oh man, like during the day, he was tough to manage. But no, they're great dogs though.
Good.
So I enjoyed my week of change a little bit.
Yeah.
Took advantage of it, got some work done. I binged season 3 of The Legend of Vox Machina because they have Prime. So
Nice.
oh, well, worked out well.
Good, man. All right, let's crack some beers and dive into the show. 3, 2, 1, action. Oh, where'd that go everywhere? I'm drinking Tunnel Vision from Bearded Iris. I grabbed a 6-pack downstairs. What do you got tonight, Greg?
Nice. Well, I thought in celebration, since this is technically your
Fancy day.
classy episode, I'll be drinking a glass of Wiggle Pennsylvania Straight Bourbon.
Wow, that was a big glass, Greg.
Yep, it's a normal glass. Thank you very much. It's fine.
Oh, I'm not mad about it. That's like 7 tips.
I frosted the glass too. Kept it in the freezer for a couple hours.
There you go. Yeah, we did. What was that? 2 years ago? We did classy episode. Did we do it?
We
last
did.
year?
We did it last year too. I thought it was a recurring thing, but apparently someone didn't want to catch the memo.
Stops at 32, man.
Stops at 32. I didn't know that was.
You also aren't even wearing a suit, so you're not even that classy.
My sport coat is right there. My sport coat is right there, dingus. I could put it on right now if you want.
No, I trust you.
All
you.
right.
Yeah, I don't have any liqueur except for Jameson, which is not happening.
No, I'm surprised you don't have at least like one nice bottle of whiskey or bourbon or something.
Normally I do. I just I don't have any liquor in the apartment right now. We have some coffee liqueur or something, but haven't been drinking at home as much, so I haven't needed it. But I do need to get one nice thing to fill. God damn, the globe. Nico got me the decanter. I'd like to just have it full.
It is pretty sick looking. I'll give you that. Yes,
Yeah.
and I'm also in the same boat as you because I'll be in Louisville in a couple weeks.
Oh, nice.
And I made the mistake last time I was there where I did not get a bottle of bourbon while I was down there. I'm correcting that while I am there. I am getting me a nice bottle of bourbon while I'm down there.
Smart.
I don't know what yet, but we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, I think when you take any trip like that or kind of go into those situations, it's dumb to think about what you want beforehand for a couple reasons. One, you're limiting what you could get, so you're not like looking at all your possibilities. But two, what if you get there and they don't have it?
Oh, for sure. Like I distinctly remember going to a liquor store like on their main bar and restaurant drag when I was down there, and like just the wall of bourbons alone were insane to look at.
It's awesome.
And I didn't even. I'm mad. I'm kicking myself like that. I didn't get anything while I was there, but like I will absolutely make sure to correct that this time. So don't know what I'll get, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. All right, I'm fixing up. We're gonna start with a mock draft. Get the board right.
Ooh, that
How is it tasting?
delicious. Oh, can't complain.
Yeah, so Greg and
I think I've had this conversation with Dre before, and like I don't know, I can't figure out like my actual stance on this stuff. But are you a rocks or no rocks?
I mean, it very much depends on what it is. So if it's something that's like, I don't know, normally if it's a little cheaper, I go rocks.
Okay.
If it's actually nice and it's good quality stuff, I go room temperature. But if I'm picking like preference, I like it colder.
Okay, that's fair. No, like if I'm going to like a nice place or something, and I'm just getting a couple like a couple shots of it or whatever, like I would like at least like one fancy ice cube, like either the big cube or like the big circle.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I think it looks good, you know. But like no, like since I'm at home right now, like I'm okay with just like by itself.
Yeah. I mean the big ice cubes. I've definitely I have friends that have those like molders for them that are cool. But if I'm at home too, I'll just throw like 3 ice cubes in a glass and pour some and just have it be colder.
Can't complain about that whatsoever.
No, so we'll see if we go the full 2 hours and do the beer stuff. I might punt to next week, knowing that Friday is the day that I'm going to be brewing it, but we can talk about it. But let's start with some.
I'm very excited by the fact. Yeah, I'm very excited for the fact that you have decided to embark on this journey, because this is something you've been talking about for years. That you decided that you eventually wanted to start brewing. But I'm curious, what made you decide to actually, commit to it finally?
Yeah, we so I set it as a goal for this year to brew like 2 to 3 beers and just hadn't gotten around to it. And so when I got back to work, I realized they have this thing called conviction days where it's a paid day off to go do something you believe in. And I this past weekend I drove Lyft for a bit, and like it was so much fun. Like it was a blast, and made like $300 and just drove people around for Saturday and Sunday mornings. And the one family I picked up at the owner of Bearded Iris, the brewery that I'm drinking right now in Homestyle, his place. And so I was just talking to them about it. They're like, yeah, he just started brewing, and they're like, we had all the friends. So our one friend did his marketing, another friend was his lawyer, another like all the things. And they were like, yeah, we bust and worked his like first night when they opened it, yada yada. And I was like, I have all that. Like, I have that.
You do.
Yeah.
You do. Yeah, that is technically true. You just need to. It's the practical aspect of actually brewing is like the one.
Well, yeah, and I don't want to be a brewer. Like, I don't want to be our head brewer, but I need to know what goes into it.
Yeah.
So
you need to know how it's made before you like want to start like pushing it and selling it and stuff like that. I get it.
Yeah. So we'll see. So I'm gonna go and. I don't know why, like, I just started feeling kind of like shit, so let's do the mock draft stuff for an hour. We'll do the beer stuff next week, but what I want to do is get this out.
Ooh.
So
I think you've had this for a while, too, if I remember.
Yeah, I bought it about 1.5 years ago just because I saw it, and I was like, I won't read it right now, I said, but one day I'll like it. And, yeah, so I'm happy to have it. But yeah, we'll see. We got to go through the website and see what kind of pellets they have and the equipment and stuff. But just because I don't know, just started feeling like shit. Let's do that next week. We spend the whole episode on it.
Okay.
Cool. I'm also about to burp, so that might help.
Dude, did turning 32 just like make you fall apart or something like that?
I think so, dude.
I mean, geez, I remember that year fondly. Hell of a year. What can I say?
All right, let's get into some mock talk, Greg. So we are about halfway through both seasons. Seen some risers, see some fallers. Right now, this is PFN's mock draft.
Yeah, it's the best simulator that there is. My personal opinion. I don't think their like rankings are like constantly updated, which annoys me.
No sense.
Yeah, the board is really weird. Like which for the record, I am going to say I did it, I think twice today while I had some free time during. Because it's just what I do. Like fuck Dre for saying that it's always like a bad time to draft or some bullshit. But I looked at the board too, and some stuff made sense, but like as you got down kind of further into it, like I was kind of thrown off by seeing.
A lot of things suck.
I saw Drew Aller as like a 4th round pick, and I was very confused by that. I think I saw Quinn Ewers as a 3rd round pick too, which I was also confused by as well.
Well, it is kind of annoying that they're not updating it, and they have a button I just click that says the log of the last player updates.
Yeah,
It looks like it was
definitely-
on November 5th is when they updated a ton of players.
Really? Because like here's the funny thing, like on some of the guys I'm picking, like I'll click on the little stat sheet to like even just kind of get like measurables for someone, and they don't even have that yet. Because I'm trying to look up like corners or receivers to see like, okay, we're looking at a 6'1" guy, we're looking at underslot, like all that or anything like that. Nothing.
Yeah.
It's the weirdest thing. It's almost kind of like I'm almost like in this weird boat where like I feel like you would have to use the simulator, but also maybe have like PFFs like board up just to keep track of it. Which
Yeah,
is
the
kind of
board is like I don't even see it on their log sheet. Burden's thing. All right, we're doing PFFs.
all right.
Just because there's not a shot in hell I remember everybody I want to. Not that theirs is, perfect or even better.
PFF is not perfect. No, I will give you that. But at least they update their board consistently. I feel.
That's where I'm at, dude. Just like at least update the board.
Mm-hmm. And you know what's weird too? Like I will give PFF credit too. PFF's board is updated, but it's also like the most wild one in terms of like the normal like scouting boards, because that one I think they put a lot of focus into like data of like during the season instead of like active scouting. Like if you go on Kuiper, if you look at Kuiper's board or something like that, like he's putting a lot of emphasis on like measurables and like and stuff like that. Like PFF I think focuses a lot on like how you're playing that season.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. All right, do you want to go first or second, Greg?
I will go first.
Cool.
Why not?
All right, we have the Patriots, Jags, Saints, Panthers, Browns. So they do update the board, which is cool, and they update the players. So this would be the Patriots and Drake May on the clock.
Okay. So what the three adages of always when you're drafting when you're trying to rebuild, you draft your franchise quarterback, you draft the guy to protect your franchise quarterback, and then you draft the guy to attack the opposing team's franchise quarterback. I am going to lean towards the protection side in this sense. And if I remember correctly, I believe the number one tackle in this class is Kelvin Banks from Texas.
Will Campbell.
Will Campbell.
And
okay,
then
Will
Kelvin
Campbell,
Banks, and then Cameron Williams.
Okay, I will go. All right, I will go Will Campbell then in this sense too. I believe Will Campbell's the left and Emory Jones is the right for LSU.
Yeah,
I remember.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, I'll go Will Campbell for LSU. There's no way that I don't think a tackle is going to go number one overall, but crazier things have happened. So, but in this sense, I'm going towards tackle.
Yes,
I also think too the Patriots have a terrible O-line.
Yeah, I was going to say I think a tackle going number one overall makes more sense than most positions. Like it probably goes quarterback, edge, tackle. Those are like the number one overall positions.
Right.
And so I'm with you there. Don't hate it. I'm up for the Jags. This one is easy mainly because they get the best player. I mean, they need cornerback help. They need wide receiver help. So Travis Hunter to Jacksonville sucks for the fans of football, but I'll take him there. And I think that there's a few teams high up here that would take Travis Hunter and actually use him in both. I think the Jags would.
Yeah, I was going to say, I can't picture many franchises be willing to make him a two-way player. But if there's a franchise that desperately just needs talent in general, it's probably the Jaguars. And also, I think having a star player on both sides of the ball being the same person, this also sounds really dumb to say, but it's a really good marketing tool to get a guy like that in the first round.
Oh, agreed, dude.
Yeah, and I don't want that to be a basis of someone picking someone, but whatever.
Sid Center, the Patriots like the new Browns. I think so.
I mean, the Browns are the new Browns at this rate.
The Browns are always the fucking Browns. You got the Saints, new coach, maybe new quarterback. That place is in turmoil.
That rebuild is going to be so fascinating.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's weird. They have so much dead cap space. They were like us for the longest time, where they just kept pushing dead money down the road to like kick the can, and now it's gonna come back to bite them. In this sense, I do think that they're gonna go franchise quarterback here. Like me and you are kind of on the same page with regards to Derek Carr, but I really think they need to start.
Oh, I'm over Derek Carr. I'm so over him.
Is it just because of like how he's played with the Saints, or just
it's 100% how he's played with the Saints? I'm just over him. Like I thought when he left the Raiders, it was going to be a situation where he could go be successful somewhere else. I'm fully out on him. It sucks, but I'm out.
All right, fair. So in this case, I go quarterback, and to me, we've touched on this too. This is not a good. I don't think this quarterback class has really.
But, I
Wow,
mean, it should be the best quarterback class we've ever seen.
it
They
should, but
fucking suck.
no one has separated themselves at this point. So I think in this case, like I would go with the most upside, and I think it's going to be Shador. I also think Prime would be okay with his son in Seattle. He will be okay with his son going to New Orleans, depending on who they get to be the new.
So Brian Flores would be a name.
Bobby
The
Slowick from Houston,
Yep,
perhaps.
I'm thinking of the Ben Johnson from Detroit.
Aaron Glenn from Detroit, actually.
Yep.
I think he played and also coached for the Saints. That would be a nice connection, perhaps.
Yeah, so I could see a lot going on there. I like Shador there. Obviously, Shador to the Raiders has been the super hot one, but I think that's good.
I would love, actually, you know what would be fun? This could finally be the team that Kellen Moore gets an opportunity to head coach at.
That would be fun.
It would be fun, yeah.
Panthers have, quarterback, wide receiver, edge, linebacker. I mean, I'm not going to say that they should go draft another quarterback right now because I don't know what the fuck they have. For me, the best thing they can do in this situation, because let's say that they take Milroe here or they take somebody, right? You're setting them up for fucking failure too. Like, you need to build a team and then go from there. So for me, I walk into it with the same attitude you did, which is like, just get some fucking talent and people. I'm not in love with this edge class. I wish Pierce would have had a better year, but Mason Graham from Michigan has been a freak. So you get that kind of, remember back in the day, they have Derek Brown. They drafted some really good Brian Burns, these D-line guys.
Derek Brown's an injury too, so like if you pair him with Mason Graham, that's a really good interior to work with on your D line. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. And it reminds me of the way the Bucs kind of built after the Brady stuff, which is that D line with Vita Vea and a couple guys like pumping, pounding. So, big fan.
All right, I can dig that. Yeah, I think the Panthers. I agree, the Panthers are in a boat where they just need to get talent in general. But like, I'm very curious. I'm fascinated to see Bryce Young play out the rest of the year. Like, because you never know. I think getting him game reps is going to be the important thing. And they're not going to fire Dave Canales after one season. So I think this will be big for him to see progression and then next year come back in with the same playbook to be able to work with.
Agreed. You are up for the Browns.
Oh, boy. Man, quarterback would also be kind of a good spot to be able to help with that.
I agree. They have quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tackle.
Wide receiver. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but like quarterback is kind of. Here's the thing too. Like Joe Flacco last year led that team to an 11-6 record, and all he had to do was just run the offense. Like, that's all he had to do. Like, they were a run-heavy offense that was able to succeed.
He only played he didn't play half the season, so I don't really think giving him an 11-6 record is fair.
Yeah, but Deshaun Watson didn't impress last year either when he was on the team.
So, but Joe Flacco started week 17.
I thought Flacco started way more games than that.
No, we did this before.
We did?
Yeah.
Because I swear, I thought Watson got hurt at some point during the season, or got hurt some point during the season last year, and that's why.
Joe Flacco 2024.
2023.
2023. Good call.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. 2023 games played 5.
Really?
He had a record of 4-1. Yeah, we've done this before.
Okay. So he got them maybe over the hump to the playoffs.
Oh, fuck you! You went from an 11-6 record to 4-1.
They did. Whatever. They wouldn't have made the playoffs with Watson anyway, so I don't want to hear it. I think they just need like somebody to run an offense and be smart and make it work. Yeah, you know what? Screw it. Give me Carson Beck here.
Terrible.
It's gonna be. Whatever. It's gonna be. It'll be a fun time in Cleveland, and they'll be able to.
That's kind of my point. Is that's a very Cleveland pick.
It is a Cleveland pick. But in fairness, like most quarterbacks now are going to be kind of older and such, so why not?
Yeah, this one's super easy. We thought it was going to be Michael Penix to the Raiders. Let's go with a guy who has had the Jaden Daniels-esque season this year. Cam Ward to the Raiders.
I love that pick. Love that pick so much. I still think they desperately need like O-line help as well, but
I'd agree, but you can't wheel out another year of no quarterback since Derek Carr.
That's fair. Yeah, you need a guy, and also like Cam Ward's in this like sweet spot where, and I think older quarterbacks are obviously going to become like the new standard now.
Not
And
even older, just the veterans, because Sam Darnold's not old, but I'm with you that it's a veteran presence type thing.
Well, yeah, it's not just but the veteran presence, and also just because like with the transfer portal and also with NIL, like guys I think are going to stay in college longer and kind of like get paid and also like build up their reps and like kind of learn more before they go to the pros. And Cam Ward's taking advantage of that so well. Like if he, I don't think he's necessarily the favorite for the Heisman this year, but like he's probably going to go.
I'd say Cam Ward is the Heisman favorite.
You think?
Oh, easily, yes.
We'll see on that one.
I mean, it's the betting odds, Greg. It's like he is the leader for the Heisman right now.
Yeah, it is
by a mile, by the way.
I really think it should be Jonty. That's just my opinion.
Totally fine. I'm just telling you what's happening.
I get it. Yeah, this is why I don't bet, but whatever. So I do like that pick because they desperately do need quarterback help, but I still think O-line's a better play. But who am I at for 7?
You are the Giants quarterback, tackle, cornerback. There's also not a lot. I mean, it's a deep, top-heavy tackle class. But to defend the Raiders' position here, they could easily take one of those guys. You can't wheel out Gardner or Stidham or whoever the fuck again. So
yeah, same thing with the Giants, man. The Daniel Jones experiment's over. It's got to be at this point. And I feel like they know it. I mean, like they desperately could use some O-line help, but I am willing to kind of give them a pass a little bit just for the fact I think their starting left tackle is injured this year, so that might solve some problems if he comes back.
Maybe.
But but I will. But in this sense, I'm going to go Jalen Milroe.
Yeah. I mean, they need a quarterback there. I'm with you.
Yeah, Jalen Milroe, I think, has really grown this year in terms of his accuracy and passing and all that, and he can also make plays with his legs if he needs to. He doesn't have to, but if he needs to, he can. So
I got into a fight with my Dynasty League about him because they were basically like, him in the first round or the top 10 or something like that is crazy. And I was like, he has the best college football tape this year. Like that Georgia game. Now, Cam Ward has the best tape as a prospect.
Right.
Carson Beck might have the best tape for a career. You can go through whatever you want to say. Jalen Milroe has the single best quarterbacked game in college football this year.
And Jalen Milroe, especially after getting benched against South Florida last year, has just the progression that we've seen from him in terms of like his play style and his ability to just take over a game. It's been impressive to say the least. I think he's going to be a very good pro. I don't think he's a starter right away, but I do think he has the capabilities.
Cool. I'm up for the Dolphins. It's going to be very curious to see if they need a quarterback or not. That's how I'll word it. But right now they need O-line help, cornerback. Yeah, I mean, a lot on that defense. It kind of leaves a lot to be desired, but I'll go with...
that defense should be a lot better than
should be.
I don't know why it's not.
Man, it's tough, but I know they need line help, but I'm going to go with arguably the best player in the class in Will Johnson.
I love him.
Yeah, they, like I said, it's a top-heavy line class. They have a high pick in the second. Somebody could sneak in there, like a Falalele from this past one, a couple guys there that are like lates. So give me the actual guy who you're going to look here and be like, oh, wow, he is the best player in this class.
Yeah, Will Johnson is not sexy in any way whatsoever, but he's just a really steady, good corner with the length that you need in the pros right now. He's shut down at this point, and it's exactly would be a great situation there for the Dolphins.
Agreed.
In terms of defense, though, I would maybe lean towards edge rusher personally, but that's just me. But I do think Tua's going to come out, though. I think he's been
sure. And again, their needs are cornerback, guard, and tackle. Could you always use more edge rusher? Sure, but you're in a division with Josh Allen. You're in a division with Aaron Rodgers technically right now, and you're in a division that has a Drake May. who looks to be pretty damn good. And I like the edge rusher aspect there, but give me somebody to defend this guys.
All right, fair take on that one.
Titans, quarterback, wide receiver, tackle.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Mm.
A lot of mocks have Beck going here, who is off of our board.
Yeah, I took him with the Browns. Based on that, I'm gonna add to that defense, and I'm gonna put a guy who's like really risen this year. And I watched him this past Saturday. The dude's a stud. Yep. Give me Abdul Carter from Penn State.
Yeah.
He looked good against Ohio State.
But they always have, not in a bad way. They always have these guys. Like
they do.
They do. Chop. But... They have like good guys that go in that late second or late first, early second thing.
Well, Chop was I think like a riser because of how well he tested. And
who is in Miami? So how dare you say Miami needs edge rushers?
Fair. But Carter at least like has the production to I think back it up though, because like I didn't know about Carter until I think Dane Brugler posted something on The Athletic like in his top mocks, and then had him at 5, and I had no idea who he was. And then I watched some of his highlights from this past year, like so far. That dude's a good pass rusher.
Yeah.
Like, and he's producing. I think he had 2.5 sacks against Ohio State. So like, he's got something there. So it's not like a measurable thing. Like this dude will produce. So I put him there for the Titans, and I think maybe go like another year without a quarterback and maybe try to build out a running game to help with that, perhaps.
Yeah, we are in Will Levis's second year. Next year will be his third year. That last year, that fourth year. Yeah, you never want to take a team like the Titans who have, they had all the pieces that should have happened this year and not give them a quarterback. But I think there is a free agency market that'll hit. They could bring in somebody. I agree with you there.
Is this the ceiling for Ashton Jeanty to get drafted by chance?
What do you mean by ceiling?
Well, like probably the high mark, like in terms of like all the like the other.
The Titans themselves.
Yeah.
They signed Pollard, and Tajay Spears been good. They just haven't been able to establish a run game. I'd be floored if they use this pick to add somebody to that room.
It's more of an O-line thing than it is like a talent at
I think so. I mean, we've seen Pollard and Tajay Spears both produce.
Okay.
I think it's an offensive scheme thing. Teams know they're not going to pass, which is why they got rid of DeAndre Hopkins for pennies.
Good point.
I got the Jets at 10. They're going to go, and I think whoever comes into this organization is going to look at it and say, why the fuck did we sign Aaron Rodgers? So I think the Jets take Quinn Ewers here at 10, and that is, in my mind, the last of the first-round graded guys. Now, Nussmeier, Moss, Wegman, Aller, McCord, Dart.
Nussmeier's another guy that's risen a lot, and I'm surprised by that. But yeah,
I think Cade Klubnik's been a riser. I think Dylan Gabriel's still there. A lot of quarterbacks, none of them are first rounders, but for me, Quinn at 10 to the Jets. You are saying, yes, Aaron Rodgers, like, you could still be the starter, but you need something, especially as a new coach.
Mm-hmm. I like that. Because at what point, A-Rod will be 43, 44 at that point?
He'll set a record for oldest player in the NFL.
Oof. That'd be incredible. And I don't think he takes care of himself like Brady did at that point to try to stay.
Ayahuasca.
No, the ayahuasca. Which, by the way, I meant to ask you and Josh this. Like, is Huega House like his brand, or is it? Oh, okay, so it's just something that like he likes.
It's a lifestyle brand. So Shane McGillis wears it a lot. He wears it. I have 2 hats of it. It's just a lifestyle brand.
Okay, because like he wore it like so many times on McAfee show that like I thought like he was self-promoting or something like that. So that's why I just asked.
No.
Okay, got you. My bad.
Let's see. No, you're good, dude. Let's see who founded. So Jonathan Rulli and Jake Ryan are the founders of Fuego House.
Okay. Because something I didn't find out until I think a few months ago is that like Rogers is actually like one of the key investors in Liquid IV.
I believe that.
Yeah, because I think he's one of the, because like that's something like athletes like will like be part of like the venture capital funds and stuff to like get their like all these other different things and stuff like that. So I think when Liquid IV started like becoming a big thing, like I remember I think Rogers was part of the group that helped like expand it and stuff.
Cool story.
Yeah, lesson learned.
You're up for the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh God,
This
this one
this is the ceiling.
for Jonty.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
gonna take Luther Burden here because like I feel
Okay,
like
hold
that
on one second.
talent.
So we got to talk about that. All I heard was I was going to take Luther Burden here.
I was gonna take Luther Burden here because I'm like, man, him dropping out of the top 10 just doesn't feel right, and I feel like the Cowboys would like snatch him up and stuff. But man, like,
If you want to take the number 2 receiver in the draft, there, go for it.
yeah, but at the same time, I'm thinking I'm gonna think some other stuff, and like, I think their defense needs some work in the worst way. Mason Graham would be a great pick there if he was available, but he's not. So I'm gonna go with a guy who has not produced well, but I think will still fit in a 4-3. Give me James Pierce.
Oh, wow. Okay. I couldn't disagree with you on everything you said more.
Okay.
Uh, I think the Cowboys are shit. I think they would consider quarterback here despite Dak's big deal, which is crazy to say, but they wouldn't do it. If Quinn Ewers falls, they would discuss it. I think that they need a running back like Genty, and they're coming out of the situation with an opportunity to draft a guy who just shattered records and was a Heisman candidate, and I think that's sexy
Right.
to Jerry.
But I don't think they have the O line to be able to help him produce those.
Well, and there we go. So now I'm talking about they still have 3 beautiful O line prospects there. They still have any. I don't know. I mean, like, I just like T Mac better. Is the other side of it in terms of the burden stuff. I think T Mac and
Yeah.
CD Lamb together would be crazy. And on top of all of that, as much as I would love to see this happen for Tennessee, James Pierce has been a ghost. He has been average, and when I say average, Greg, I still mean first round draft pick. Like he
Right.
has been an average defensive end who is probably the best defensive prospect that we can't use as tape on
Like
from this year.
if you watch him, like you can tell he's talented enough to be in the NFL. But
Yes.
is it a is it a teams are just like I'm taking him away in the game, or is it just he's not producing as what you'd expect?
Yeah, like he should be on a roster. It's like, he's a freak of nature athlete. I don't disagree that they could use help on that defensive line, but if you
Yeah.
have a defensive line with Micah Parsons on it, and maybe you can move him inside now because of Pierce, it's not terrible. I thought you were gonna go sexy. I'll say it.
Nah, well, because here's the other thing too. Like, there have been many times where like I thought the Cowboys would go sexy, and they went like meat and potatoes, which was the smarter play.
Which was
So
all those linemen they took to make the best line we've ever seen.
it was all those linemen. So like maybe they'll steer me wrong in this case, but no. I feel like if I'm looking at the Cowboys, I just feel like that defense is probably a bigger issue than the O line to a degree. So I think they should get like some sort of talent on that pass rush to be able to help them and stuff.
Sure.
And maybe also allow Micah Parsons to be kind of free in the middle to be able to kind of cause more havoc than needed. We'll see.
Colts. They need tight end, linebacker, safety. I'm not taking it. I know who I'm taking, but I want to look at tight ends.
I don't even know who the best tight end is in this class, actually.
Well,
I think there's depth, but I don't know who's like the top prospect.
Colston Loveland is ranked 22nd on here. The next one is Warren out of Penn State, who's ranked 80th. So I would say it's pretty much without a doubt Colston Loveland. I thought there was an Ohio State one somewhere, but it doesn't look like it. And none of these tight
Is it Cade Stover or did he get drafted?
Cade Stover, but he might have gotten drafted because he's not on there. So I don't know. I will go safety here. I'll go the best safety in the class, I think, in Malachi Starks out of Georgia. I think he's a stud, and I think this Colts defense needs him. Yeah, there's a lot of picks you could go here. Malachi Starks is sick.
What a dog. That'd be incredible if they got him there. Yeah, that mock you sent at the beginning of this week where he went to like 28. Yep. Absurd. Oh, just absurd in that case.
You were up for the Bengals.
Talk about another team that really needs defensive help, actually, now that I think about it. That pass rush has been just really rough in general, but honestly, I would also really like for them to add to that offensive line because that's also been a big problem for them as long as Joe Burrow has been there. So I'm going to go with the next available offensive lineman. Give me Kelvin Banks.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough because for me, I want them to go T Mac and have, but like it's the same conversation about Sewell versus
If
Chase.
they get T Mac, like they can trade T Higgins like
Excuse me.
very right afterwards and be able to kind of help restock that defense immediately if they want with draft picks. That would be a smart play for them, I think.
Yeah, but I do like Banks here. I think Burrow, when he's protected, is one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and but you gotta keep him up to do that. So
Right, right. I just love that two very good, talented wide receivers are falling at this point too, because of like teams looking at
yeah,
need or long play here, and I love it.
and I'll tell you, I'm not taking them with this one. I have Seattle. Um, they kept Metcalf. They still have Lockett. They have Jackson Smith. To me, I think they're going to hold on to Metcalf until they don't need him anymore and pretend he's Mike
Okay.
Evans. Um, very cool with that. Looking at these other positions, they have guard, tackle, and linebacker. I hate this linebacker class. I think it's just bad.
Yeah, there's no elite talent, which is weird for
Yeah.
that for an NFL draft. Yeah.
And I know I always say, well, they're the Seattle, so I'm going to make a weird pick.
Okay.
Not really going to do that. I am going to go pretty safe here and just kind of add to that O line. I'm going to go with Cameron Williams, the other Texas tackle.
Okay.
For me, they have Emory Jones super far down this list. I like Emory Jones a lot. I like that there's two LSU and two Texas tackles that could be top 5 in the class. But for me, Williams makes sense. So that is back to back Texas tackles.
Isn't it wild that like the top tackles in this class are both left and right tackles on two teams?
Yeah.
It's
cool because then teams can actually be like, we need a right tackle instead of.
Yeah, it's pretty great. Although technically, like I think in college, like if you get them young enough, you can probably train them to be a future left tackle. But yes, right tackle with the way that there's NFL talent is nowadays, I think that it's more than okay to draft a right tackle early if you find them. So why not?
And left-handed quarterbacks too. So,
Mm-hmm.
Greg, you are up for the LA Rams.
Okay. I think this now becomes the play of between T-Mac and Luther Burden.
Oh, do tell.
Because Puka's still on a rookie contract, which is big.
Yep.
Cooper Kupp, I mean, like, listen, like he may have been hurt, but he was on the trade block at one point. So I do think there is some validity to that.
That's fair.
I think there is there. And I think like Kupp's getting a little older and stuff like that. So maybe they got to think long term, perhaps. I also wouldn't mind them getting some more youth on that defense because, like, I'll give the Rams a lot of credit. I thought they were going to struggle this year without Donald, and they've held their own, so they look good. If I'm looking at that offense, I think T-Mac fits better with him and Nacua than Burden because I think T-Mac is definitely the more big body type, and Nacua can also like get up there, but he's also could be an elite slot guy if needed in that case.
Yes,
so,
Nacua doesn't do the slot because Kupp is there. When Kupp was out, Nacua led the league in every stat. Nacua is a freak athlete, but T-Mac has a wide frame, like a ridiculously pterodactyl frame.
Yes, and I'm not saying that T-Mac will be able to easily replace Cooper Kupp's production in any way whatsoever, but I do think that that's going to open up the playbook a lot for having a more big body receiver there. So I'm going to go T-Mac here.
Love it. And that actually is the best thing you could have done because, and we could talk about them together here because at the Bucks, I'm taking Luther Burden. So what do you see in Burden that you liked him earlier a bit more than T-Mac? Like, do you like Burden? Because for me, it comes down to production. And I've seen T-Mac produce this year and Burden not so much, so it's a little frustrating there. But just what are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, also with regards to the production too, I think that now we're in the junior year for both of them, and I think everyone knows how good they both are. I think what T-Mac has the advantage of is that he's 6'5", so like he kind of can take advantage of the height mismatch and also get up and also make plays when needed to. So like. And by the way, like if he was available, that would have been a perfect pick for the Bucks, just because as like a natural progression from Mike Evans, if you want to go that route. But I don't know, man. There's something about Burden that like if I watch Missouri play, I know like everyone is paying attention to him so much because like he's a really good route runner, and he's also someone that is just going to be able to manipulate a defense if necessary. I think it's more of to me, I struggle with favoriting receivers who have physical advantages versus receivers who I know are just
Really?
really good at their
Yeah, but
job.
I guess my thing for you is Burden really good at his job this year? He feels like
That's
one
a
of
fair
the. He
point.
feels like
That's a
a
fair
guy
point.
that we're sitting there going, dude. He's not my bust guy. I'm not going to disrespect him like that. But he feels like
I
somebody who we say, look how good he is. Just trust me, he's good.
Okay. It's that situation. Like he's not going to put the numbers, but it's like if you watch him play, it's like he's good. He
Yeah,
just won't the stat box score like won't reflect it essentially.
yeah. He
So
feels
it's
like
like
he's going to be Corey Davis, which is a very talented wide receiver. I just and again, this is we haven't watched tape, Greg. We haven't done anything.
no, you'll
But
make me watch tape. I know that.
But
So
I
yeah,
just
that's true.
know I haven't heard his name this year, and I know he can produce, but just hasn't been. And I know they have
Okay.
had a pretty good season so far. So what? It doesn't add up that they're doing well and he's not.
I get it. Like I get it. And Missouri's in kind of like a weird spot too. They're a 3-loss SEC team, so like, but yet at the same time, like it's not like they're playing terrible or anything like
No.
that. It's just yes, he's brutal this year, so it is what it is. But I don't know, man. Like there's just I saw the hype from him. Like I remember watching him at Missouri last year when they had a 10-win season for the first time in a long time, and like
Yeah.
I feel like the talent is there. T Mac, maybe this is my bias from the fact of like, oh, he's 6'5", he's gonna be good at wide receiver simply because of how big he is. Like I'm discrediting him for that in that sense
Yeah, I
because
can
like
feel that.
yeah, so maybe that's it. But like I find it more impressive for a wide receiver who is kind of undersized but yet also is just really good at all the other smaller things to be able to handle that versus like a big guy that can just kind of jump over guys. But I will but I
Sure, but
do
Burden's
but I
not
do
doing
think
that.
T Mac is more than that. I will give you that. He's a lot more than just being big and being able to leap
Yeah,
over. So I'll give you that.
yeah. You know, I think that there's a lot to be said about both these guys, and they're both the number 1 and 2 wide receivers in this class. Like they're both
Mhm.
good at what they do.
And we
Just
have them very, very underdrafted.
yeah, I
They'll
would
go
agree with
higher.
that.
They will definitely go higher.
Yeah, it just I'm a big fan of the size. You know, it doesn't always instantly go into working, but if you have guys that are extremely mismatched in size and they're pretty even, the size helps in my mind. But I
That's fair.
understand.
We'll do that.
You got the Niners up at 17, which this is where we're getting a little interesting on the order of the teams. I don't
Yeah,
hate it, but we have the
no,
Niners
because they're
here with the
four
Bears
and
after.
yeah, they're 4-4. Both of
Okay,
them are 4
that makes sense
things.
then,
Yeah, yeah. So that's kind of that's the logic I think they're going with.
which makes total sense this
Yeah.
early into it.
I I think an area that the Niners are probably also going to look into is offensive line because like
Hmm.
while they did re-sign Trent Williams, like obviously he's getting up there in age, so like they need to like start getting some depth on that line to be able to help them as they get older and stuff. And I also think they suffer by losing McGlinchey at one point. Now he's in Denver, I believe. So
Mm-hmm.
I will go Emory Jones here.
Yeah.
He's a right tackle, I know, but maybe perhaps could eventually move to left if necessary, but at least kind of get the process going of adding more depth there.
Yeah, I think it's a great pick. I think the 49ers are one of those teams where they pretty much can always add something because they're pretty good everywhere. And so, yeah, I think it's a great pick.
It's a luxury thing. And for the record, like they are not, if everyone is healthy on that team, they're not 4-4. The fact that they are 4-4 is just wild to me, but we'll see. We'll see how the rest of the season goes.
Christian's back, so.
Mm-hmm.
I'm up for the Bears. I am, somewhat surprised he fell this far, but I'll take the other Michigan defensive tackle and Kenneth Grant.
Mm-hmm.
Just get
He's
him some
kind of
meaty
in that
boys up
wheelhouse,
top.
like 18, 26 range,
Someone's
I'd
going to
say.
be very happy with him.
Yeah. He's not. He's obviously not better than Mason, but like I still think like he's definitely like a high production type of guy. Like he's a good good character defensive tackle that you want on your team, I'd say.
I agree with that. You're up for the Broncos.
Broncos are interesting. Like them being 5-4 is weird to me. It really is. I think
Bo Nix has looked good though.
Bo Nix has looked good. The receivers have been okay. Their defenses look really good, especially because I saw something about how like Vance Joseph just like completely changed his defensive mindset for them.
Uh-huh.
So fascinating to see. I do think you know what? This is probably the area that I might get kind of killed for this, but I'm just gonna do it anyway. Give me Ashton Genty here.
Okay. Oh man.
You don't
Why?
like it. I can tell.
Um.
I can tell.
He's the best running back the franchise may have ever had outside of like, well, not may have ever had. Let's not be
Terrell
disrespectful.
Davis.
They are the best running back that franchise has had in like a decade. So
Yes,
I don't hate it for that reason.
Better stance on that one. Jesus, man.
It. Oh, you don't know that. What if he is?
Okay,
I,
fair.
I think my issue with it is I feel like they need a ton. And so I'm like, adding a running back feels gross, but they need a running back. So.
Well, here's the weird thing: if you watch the Broncos at all, like, does it feel like they're playing above their like sea level a little bit? Yeah. Are they taking advantage of a weak schedule, or are they kind of like, or they actually have like
They have the balls.
Like, kind of
they're winning like the Steelers. Sean Payton's a good coach. He's good enough to win close games. I think Bo Nix is going to be a Baker Mayfield-esque quarterback who is a balls on the table, run it when I need to, take a bunch of licks, get back up type of quarterback, and I think they're going to really love him there.
Yeah, I think but the Broncos franchise are at least smart enough to realize, like, okay, we have a guy that's going to do everything possible to try to win us a game. Let's keep him instead of throwing him by the wayside to try to spend on a more expensive thing. So,
true.
Do that.
Yeah, I don't mind Genty there. They definitely need a running back. I think it's a fine pick. It's not. You won't get a guy like Genty in the second round.
No, you will not. No.
So, I got the Cardinals. They are kind of a lamer one in the sense of needs. But I'm going to go with just Danny Stutzman out of Oklahoma, the top linebacker.
Ooh,
they need linebacker help. Let's take a linebacker. I haven't done too much looking at anybody in this class. I know Campbell just because it's Alabama. And it's pretty much it for me on the linebacker core. But let's get.
I was really hoping you would take a secondary guy just because like that is like the MO of the Cardinals. It's like just
I mean, there are some guys here. I like Benjamin Morrison a ton. I love Siobhan Ravel. I think Jahdae Barron's great. Marvin, I lost him there in a second. The cornerback out of Kentucky, Maxwell Hairston. A lot of buzz about him. And then the secondary, Winston Jr. has been playing lights out. And I don't really know too many other guys on this, but two Iowa, I mean, those safeties are great. So should have, could have, would have, give me the linebacker and fill the gap Isaiah Simmons missed.
No, I really like that. I think that's a normal pick that we don't expect from the Arizona Cardinals. Like, I feel like the Cardinals get way too in the weeds and try to, like, they get pretty. They get too athletic when they don't need to. Like, if you just, like, stick to your guns and just kind of, like, fill the right holes that is necessary, I think you're going to have a decent team to be able to work with. And I think the Cardinals are also the team, too, that I think we can all kind of agree are just, they're not going to hold up the rest of the season.
No.
They're not. They're also playing above their sea level at this point too.
Agree with that. You got the Chargers.
This is a weird team to try to figure out. Like, Herbert is the most un-Herbert-like I've ever seen from him. I like that they're running the ball. I like that they're playing really good defense for the first time in like a decade at this point. It's nice. You know what? Give me a Harbaugh guy and put him there. Give me Colston Loveland.
Yeah, that's right around Colston Loveland. That's right around where he needs to be.
I think that's a very good spot. Like I couldn't tell you who the starting tight end is in LA off the top of my head, but I do think like that's if Harbaugh is gonna run like a run
Parham?
Heavy. What was that?
No, keep going. I said, is it Parham?
Maybe? I'm not sure. But like if Harbaugh's gonna run like a Michigan style offense that's like heavy, like
Disley.
power eye. Oh, Will Disley.
And then Hayden Hurst. Oh, it's gross. Yeah, I like your pick.
Yeah, if it's gonna be a power eye type focus or anything, or like halfback with a fullback type mindset. Oh man, I think that's gonna be really good to have a tight end like that to work with. So yeah, give me Colston Loveland.
I think it's a great pick. I am up for the Falcons. kind of hear me
Are
out.
they ever going to get an edge rusher? Like, are we at that point? Like, come on.
No. They Here's why. They invested in the running game. They took Bijan Robinson. They invested in the passing game. They took Drake London. They invested in the quarterback position. They took Michael Penix Jr. They invested bringing in a ton of players. What they haven't invested in, which is funny that I already named it, is a wide receiver 2. Because nobody should have Ray McCloud. No offense to Ray McCloud. He should not be a team's number 2 wide receiver. Get Isaiah Bond. Capitalize on another year for Kirk, and then Michael Penix walks into the best wide receiver situation in the league, which is Bond and Drake London with Kyle Pitts. And Penix is set up for the next 10 years.
And it's Drake London ending the rookie contract, so like he'll get paid and then he'll be ready to go as well. So okay, I respect that. Man, though, but
an edge would be cool, but you took Pierce, and I don't really know anything about Scorton.
It's okay.
I just don't know anything about him.
I'd like to see how he tests, perhaps, but that's really about it. Like, it's a weak edge class.
Yeah, LT Overton out of Bama. Like, for me, Bond is the last. Like, let's look at wide receivers because I like Egbuka.
I do too.
I don't know another wide receiver on this list. I know Evan Stewart. That's it, man. I know I need to do a lot more, but those are the receivers I know right now. Well,
here's the thing too. Like
I know Will Shepard and Jimmy Hort Jr. Sorry.
Oh yeah. Oh, that would be fun. But hear me out too. Like with regards to receivers, I feel like last year I thought was going to be a weak receiver class after Marvin Harrison Jr. and that didn't.
Oh yeah, there's going to be guys that I just named. I don't know that you and I fall in love with.
Yeah,
but as absolutely. It stands right now, if you look at the list of receivers who we're supposed to know, Bond is the last one.
Right, like coming into last year, like me and you had no idea like how good Xavier Worthy was going to be, and then out of nowhere, like fuck, the dude breaks the combine record, and now he's on the KC.
He's going to win a Super Bowl, yeah.
Yeah, more than likely. So it's just the timing of it just works out so well in that case. So,
you have the Packers. And I'm going to use the restroom when we talk about them real quick.
Okay. Green Bay Packers. Let me think about this. I'm not going receiver in this case. I obviously don't need quarter. O-line depth might be not a bad play here, perhaps to look into. But I look at that defense, though. They run a 4-3. I'm not sure. I think the linebacker class is not that good. Corners and safety, I mean, they have Jair Alexander, they have Clinton Dix, so like they're fine in that part. They might need some edge rush to be able to help in this case. I think Scortum is probably the play because I think he fits a 4-3 slightly a little bit better than maybe some of the other guys. I'm not sure where else it could potentially go, so probably going to lead towards Scortum. So because I can't think of where else like the Packers potentially need though, and I didn't even realize they switched to a 4-3 until the Preston Smith trade. So, go figure in that case. What up, Bean? This was a bad day to try to drink bourbon. Let me just sit on that part. Ugh. Whatever. In that case, I think Scortum is probably the play here, and then it's also going to add into the mindset about them always needing to draft defensive players, to say the least. But whatever. It's the Packers, you know. The Packers just know what the hell they're doing, weirdly enough, and they stick to their guns, and it works out, to say the least. By the way, in case anyone was curious, Wiggle, straight bourbon whiskey. Shit's phenomenal. Just gonna point that out.
All right, what's your pick?
I struggled on this one, but I think I'm gonna go with Scortum.
Yeah, I think it's a good pick.
It's such a cop out, but
no, he's the next guy up.
Yeah, but it's a cop out. But the Packers, I feel like just consistently draft defensive guys that just rotate heavily.
Yeah.
In that case, and which I did not.
Well, him and Lucas Van Ness is going to be sick because they lost Preston Smith.
Well, here's the other thing. I did not realize until Preston Smith got here that they switched from a 3-4 to a 4-3.
Yep.
Gordon does fit a 4-3 much better, so I think that's good.
Did you know that Preston Smith, since entering the league, is 13th in sacks?
I did not.
Do you know who he is tied with in 13 sacks? Or 13th in sacks?
How long has he been in the league for? Like, who's he tied with?
So he is tied 13th in most sacks since he entered the league.
Oh, since he entered the league, okay. Since he entered the league. Alex Highsmith?
I said like 9 years.
Oh, has he? Oh, God. Okay, never mind. I'm sorry.
Cam
I didn't
Hayward.
realize how long he was in the league for.
Cam Hayward. Just
Get the fuck out. Really?
Yeah, he is tied with Cameron Hayward in sacks since entering the league at 13th.
Damn.
How fucking cool is that?
That's wild. That's amazing. And what's also pretty cool, too, like, how many... Our number 2 outside linebackers are Preston Smith and Nick Hurt.
So sick.
That's a damn good number 2. Just saying.
Yeah. All right, I got so interesting here. I have the Ravens. I have a really strong feeling they're going to go Siobhan Ravel, but since we didn't take him yet,
I love him. I
do
love
too.
him.
But since he's still there, Greg, I'm
so mad he got hurt.
giving them Benjamin Morrison.
Is this a pick or is this just like?
I mean, he is the next corner. I think he's better than Chevelle Revere. I think that Morrison slides right in there. And didn't they just sign? Who signed Lattimore? Was it at them?
Oh, Marshawn? No, that was Washington.
Yes, Washington. Thank you. I was gonna say I thought they missed out on him. So give them a cornerback that I like a lot there.
Yeah. Which and for the record, I do want to point this out. If I'm looking at the Ravens defense, like they have all the talent necessary. Like they just paid Matabuke. Like
Yep.
I love Kyle Hamilton. Like I feel like they have guys everywhere on that field. I think at some point, like they're gonna like turn a corner and be the Ravens defense we expect them to be at some point, right? Like I can't imagine them just like giving up like 30 a week at this point, right?
Maybe. I don't know. I guess we'll have to find out tonight. You got the Texans. They have running back, guard, and defensive line.
I didn't realize they lost. Did they lose? They lost Will Anderson for the year too, didn't they?
I think so.
Like, yeah, that's rough. Which I didn't even think about this too. Like the Texans, like, I don't think they're gonna lose the division because I can't see like who else. I can't see the Colts passing them, and I can't see the Jags or the Titans like coming close. So like they won't be fine. But they're the most vulnerable like division leader at this point.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah. I think looking at that team, I do think they desperately need O-line help as well because like I do believe Stroud was sacked a lot last year, rookie. I don't know the rest of the O-line class at this point. Would you mind?
Yeah, not at all, dude.
Yeah, I'm amazed I've gone this far without needing to like, get it, without needing you to tell me who's on the board. By the way,
Aronte Ursier out of Minnesota, something along those lines. Apologies. Josh Simmons out of Ohio State, Wyatt Millum out of West Virginia, Blake Miller out of Clemson are the top tackles.
I do like Blake Miller, but that's kind of way too.
Yeah, Aronte is 23rd ranked, Simmons is 33rd, and Wyatt Millum is 42nd ranked.
Give me Simmons. Give me Simmons from Ohio State, actually.
Boom, yeah.
Yeah, I do. I've read up on Miller. I like him a lot, but that's kind of he'll probably test his way into getting at that point. But right now,
I'm up for the Eagles since we're sitting here between LT Overton at edge and Michael Williams at edge. I'm gonna go with the Georgia guy. They tend to like Georgia a little bit better. Michael Williams. I think those guys are a coin flip for me.
Which, by the way, I'm gonna point this out here too. I'm so sick and tired of like all the hate that Nick Sirianni's getting on like every single national sports No, come on, man. I'm sick and tired of it. The dude, his first season went to a Super Bowl. Yes,
Yep.
he collapsed the second season, but the
Yep.
third season they're 6-3, 7-2 right now. Like, and they're probably going to win the division. Like, I like the Commanders' story. Don't get me wrong on all that, but the Eagles are way too talented at this point that I think they're going to catch them at that point. Like, I don't get why there is so much hatred towards Nick Sirianni.
Because he's a fucking psychopath and he's a coordinator merchant.
I have nothing wrong with a psychopath as a head coach. If the
Yeah, but you have to be the coach to be the psychopath. I mean, he's screaming at fans and shit, and he's not even the one calling the plays.
Yeah.
Maybe
Well,
I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
He's not calling the plays. That's fair, but like the head coach doesn't always have to call the plays. So
I would agree, but you do not become a piece of shit dickhead when your team wins. He's the most Philly guy in here. I think he's a jagoff.
I'm so
glad they lost.
Listen, I agree the jagoff, but I agree he's a jagoff, but I think he's perfect for that city. I don't think he deserves.
Yeah, because they're going to choke, so he's the perfect coach for that city.
But I don't believe he deserves the national hatred that he's getting, or like the national like talk about him for being like, this piece of shit or something like that who doesn't know what he's doing. Like if having a head coach and like being able to get the right guys in the right place to be able to do what you're doing, what is wrong with that?
Nothing is wrong with that, but when you act like a piece of shit asshole when you don't do anything, that's when it's a problem, Greg. You are asking a question and cutting it off at the part that makes everyone hate Nick Sirianni. Mm-hmm. Like, it doesn't make you... nobody hates you if you're a head coach and you find good coordinators and put them in a position to win and you're a culture guy. Tomlin.
Yes.
But everyone hates you when you do that and then you're a fucking asshole.
Okay. I will give you that. I will give you that. Like Mike Tomlin would not be yelling at fans in the stands. Like he'd be going, yeah. Yeah. He'd be like embracing the excitement or anything. He wouldn't be talking back to fans. So I give you that.
You're up for the Steelers. Which is sad they didn't put us at 32.
The guy I really want. I want Shavon Revel.
Yeah, I think that feels right.
I want him so bad. I liked him coming into this year. I'm so mad that he got hurt, but I'm kind of grateful he got hurt because now he's gonna like fall to like the perfect like back end where he's still recovering and stuff like that. And I know the talent is there. It's gonna be so un-Steelers like to draft someone who's not in a power 4 in the first round, but I think the talent is there for it, and I like him so much. So I give me Shavon Revel here.
Yeah, I don't know a ton of guys in this situation. Like, I like Denzel Burke out of Ohio State, but I like Revel much more. I think for the first time since we've all started watching football, we don't need safety help, or else Winston would make a ton of sense. I could see us going tackle. Ursary, I don't know anything about his tape. We're not going to go edge after the trade. I could see us go wide receiver if one of those guys fall. I like Egbuka.
Yeah, I feel like that's like the popular kind of pick right now. Although, and I will say, based on that mock you sent, like that is the popular pick unless Malachi Starks is with it. I don't care about need.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm with you. Malachi Starks is never going to be available there.
I know, but if he is, you don't pass on Malachi Starks.
Yeah, God. And if Travis Hunter falls, we should take him too.
Yes, absolutely. But
cool. I'm up for the Vikings. What's interesting for me for the Vikings? Well, not for Vikings. What's interesting for me for this draft class is that really there's only one running back in it. I like Judkins. I like Ollie Gordon. I like Henderson. There's another guy down low.
You're not an Amari Hampton guy?
What's that?
You're not an Amari Hampton guy?
No. I know nothing about him is how I'll word it. I don't watch UNC.
Okay, fair.
Donovan Edwards is in this class. He's super low. Like, for me, there's just not...
He's getting like 4th, 5th round grades, which is wild.
Well, I mean, Blake Corum.
Yeah. But even like in that national title run, though, like I thought Edwards was the more talented guy than Corum.
I mean, sure, but I don't know. It was both of them. Corum was a freak. I'm with you, though. So the Vikings, they have their quarterback in Sam and JJ. They're, you got JJ. JJ to JJ is kind of trippy. Still like their tight ends. You got Jordan Addison at wide receiver, so don't need to force it there. I love this defense, and I love what they've been doing. But I think for me, add to that O line. So I'm gonna see who the interior guys. Yeah, Tyler Booker, guard out of Alabama. Which the
I like
top
that.
guards go Tyler Booker, Alabama, Luca Kandra out of Cincinnati, Jaden Roberts, Alabama, and then Parker Brailsford, Alabama. So
Which, by the way, speaking of their defense too, I think it's a very I don't want to say no-name defense, but it's a very non-star heavy defense. I think that they've been succeeding so far with. So that's what I find impressive about it. And I do hope that Brian Flores gets a head coaching job out of that, just for the fact of how well they've been playing. But we'll see.
you got the Commanders.
If
I know, what the fuck do they need?
If Dan Quinn does not get Coach of the Year this year, I will be stunned. I really
Yeah, all you got to do is draft the best quarterback in the league.
Draft the best quarterback, and I need to relook at that class from last year to like see because I think they had like 5 or 6 picks in the top 100. So they
close.
Yeah, I need to double check like how many guys they drafted in the class, because like that's gonna be the foundation for them for a while, I believe.
NFL team, go down to Minnesota. They drafted. Let me make sure this.
No, wait, Washington.
Oh, what the fuck are you talking about?
Because we were talking Minnesota before.
No, I know. Washington, Jaden Daniels, Johnny Newton, Mike Sanderstill, Ben Sinnott, Brandon Coleman, Luke McCaffrey, Jordan McGee, Dominic Hampton, Javonte John Baptiste. So Jaden Daniels, stud. Johnny Newton, stud. Sanderstill, stud. We knew that. Ben Sinnott, everyone loves for no reason. Brandon Coleman,
can't go wrong with that.
Brandon Coleman out of TCU, we all really liked. Luke McCaffrey, I think, has been playing great. And I know nothing about Jordan McGee, linebacker out of Temple, Dominic Hampton, safety out of Washington, Javonte John Baptiste, defensive end out of Notre Dame.
No, but they have a decent foundation though. It's
a great class.
Oh, it is. It is. It's an unsexy class. What's weird is like after Jaden Daniels,
I was gonna say big.
That's what I mean. After Jaden Daniels, they went like very kind of like they went very meat and potatoes heavy with like the rest of it, which is impressive. In terms of what they need, I do think they, as much as I like Dan Quinn, I don't think they have a pass rush at all.
Nope.
So
I'm gonna go. Perfect.
I'm gonna go with your Bama boy. Give me Overton. In this case.
Yeah, for me, Overton's great, dude. Him and Georgia's Mikael Williams are coin flip. I think they're both great.
Mikael Williams was getting like top 5 buzz at one point during this year too. Yep. He's fallen a lot, and I think, and I'm curious if it's because like Georgia's defense this year, just like while it has guys, it doesn't have like elite.
It's not Nico Beatty and Jordan Davis.
It's not dudes that we are like, expecting to like dominate guys. It's just like, you know what, you're good. You're good. That's all. But that's all.
I agree. Bills. It says they need DL linebacker. I look at that Bills team. Yes, they signed Cooper. Yes, they signed Coleman. I really, really, really want to go Egbuka here, but I'm not going to do that just for the record. I am going to go though Kevin Winston Jr. He's been here for too long. He's the 18th best player in this class. He's a safety. Love DeMar Hamlin, but I think that'll help the Bills in that division.
No, listen. The Bills' defense was at its best when it had 2 elite safeties to work with Hyde and Jordan Pyre.
Yep.
Like,
I agree.
Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. So if you get some talent back there, more power to you. I do think they could use pass rush help as well, because I think that's something that they struggle with. But just add players to that defense, I think will go a long way.
You got the Lions, Greg.
I'm going to go Emeka Egbuka here. And the reason I do is because I don't trust Jameson Williams anymore.
Yeah.
I don't. I love his talent. I loved him at Bama. My heart broke when his knee evaporated on national television. But this dude has already been suspended once, has been injured a few times, and we expected him to have a breakout year this year and just nothing because of it. The Lions like culture that they are building is too good at this point to fuck around with something that is just talented and cannot get their shit together. So Give me a guy who is already known to be a number two with Marvin Harrison and Emeka Ibuka, and is also now producing pretty well. And I think will
That'd agree.
test surprisingly. I don't think he's not going to pass Burn. He's not going to pass T-Mac or anything with that regard, but I do think he will test decently. So in this case, give me Ibuka for the Lions.
Yeah, I think Ohio State only produces studs. I actually just got I don't know if anyone's watching that league. In the Kiski League, Greg, I've packed it in. Well, in both those leagues. But the Kiski League that I'm in, which is 2-keeper, my keepers were going to be Chris Olave and Travis Etienne in the 5th and 6th. I don't want either of them anymore. And so
I don't blame you, especially Olave. I don't blame you.
But I have Kamara, I have Tyreek Hill. I got a lot of guys. And I got a lot of guys that are really good, but I'm 3 and 6. And so I let the whole league know, hey guys, I got Kyle Pitts, I got Tyreek Hill, I got Chris Olave, I got Travis Etienne, I got Alvin Kamara. I basically let them know, I said, hey guys, like I don't see myself winning this year, and so I'm telling you all right now, I'm ready to dump this team for picks. Did
I tell you my first ever time doing Dynasty? Like I am officially 2 and 7.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's not good.
No, it is not.
But
it
the
was
good
also
news is Dynasty, so.
It is. It was the Superflex team. It was also the one where I drafted McCaffrey first, and I had to really struggle with running backs. So.
Did you ask my opinion on that? You couldn't have.
What?
I would have. In a Dynasty Superflex, you drafted Christian McCaffrey first overall.
I had him at 9th or 10th, though.
Oh, okay. I thought when you said first.
No,
I'm
like
asking
the first
you first. Okay.
No, listen. In all the,
I was about to strangle you.
No. I drafted Chris McCaffrey in 4 leagues in the first round. 3 of them I had either first or second. The Dynasty I had him at 9th.
Yeah, first and second in a redraft is totally fine. A Dynasty going McCaffrey,
and then with a 9th pick,
yeah.
But in fairness, I didn't understand like how quickly quarterbacks were going to go.
Well, it's a super flex, yeah. Like
I know, and I learned my lesson. So, but
who are your quarterbacks?
Joe Burrow and Kirk Cousins.
Okay, so C+, B- crew.
Right, absolutely. So I've learned my lesson, but yeah, and that's also the league that Rap still owes me money. So I get something for it.
Yeah. That's fair. Yeah, it's tough. Dynasty's great. I think it's my favorite. My Dynasty team, with McCaffrey coming back, I now have Mahomes, McCaffrey, Mixon, Jamar Chase, A.J. Brown, Trey McBride, Chase Brown, Terry McLaurin. This is my starting lineup.
In your Dynasty, that's impressive.
In my Dynasty. There's a couple other good ones, but I feel as good as ever. Big mistakes I made this year. I traded Zeke for Chuba Hubbard straight up, and so I got Zeke. Chuba, yeah. Well, and so the conversation I was having with the guy, he wanted Chuba real bad, and I was like, dude, I don't know what to do. And he goes, who do you think my team's gonna do well? And I was like, well, Zeke's the only running back in Dallas, and this was when they had drafted Brooks. Like the Panthers sucked. He was like, I'll do that straight up. And I was like, man, I kind of want to pick. And he goes, no, like straight up, like if you believe in Zeke, I believe in Chuba. And I was like, fine.
Which, by the way, shout out to Chuba. He got paid today. Good for him.
Little Chube.
Very underpaid for most NFL players, but still, he got paid. Good for him.
33 mil?
33 mil, but I think 15 is guaranteed. So
good for him.
Yeah. Good for Chuba. He got paid. So yeah.
Yeah, but in this Dynasty, so bench guys that are good. Anyways, hold on. Back to the Kiski League.
Right.
I just got a formal offer, Tyreek Hill, for Jackson Smith and Jigba, who would be a 7th-round keeper.
Okay.
And he put question mark, so I can ask for a pick. And I'm probably going to start as a 2nd-round pick and work backwards, because JSN would then be one of my keepers. I don't really have too many other guys that, like, I would be obsessed with keeping in this league. Let me look real quick.
JSN has really come on strong this year. Is easily the number 2. Probably will be the number 1 next year.
I agree. The other guy I would probably keep is with my last round pick, Xavier Legette.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah.
It sucks to not have, like, my running backs. I have Jalen Warren, Alvin Kamara. I really thought I was going to have Etienne Olave till, like, for another 2 years. But I just don't want either of them.
like Travis Etienne needs to be dealt at that point.
Well, and the good news is I will keep Travis Etienne until I have to make a decision. Olave,
Right.
I'd be happy to move because Etienne could get moved to somewhere else and do well.
Yes, 100%. Etienne could absolutely get moved, probably free agency or maybe even the draft, perhaps. Olave, I don't know what's going to happen with him because like there's
Yeah.
I don't know if Olave is like
Dude,
I
he's
don't know if
looking
it's
at retirement, not like taking it like he's not going to retire, but he's talking to people about retiring.
right. It's a retirement thing, but then it also becomes like a situation of like he has to get moved, perhaps, because like the Saints have to be in like fire sale mode at this point. Like just get as many because they're rebuilding. They have to at this point.
Yeah, so we'll see. With the last pick in the draft for the Chiefs, I would love to go Ollie Gordon, but I would definitely go Ariante or Seri, tackle Minnesota. Give him some tackle help. So.
Okay, can't go wrong with that. I'm very proud of myself for the fact that I only needed to ask you about the board once. So
you should just pull it up with me, you goober.
Well, I'm on my phone, you dingus. So
yeah,
like,
which means on your laptop you could watch the show and see the show. You fuckface.
Well, my laptop is over on my coffee table, and I don't want to.
But do you understand how, like, if you would set up for the show properly, you would have all the resources?
Yes, I get
cool.
it. So,
good job.
Whatever. Thank you. I tried.
All right. So next week's episode, I'll come with the resources I'm gonna buy. We can walk through styles of beer and hops available and see what we can do, and and decide next week live on air what beer I'm gonna buy.
I like that. I think me and you though should close the show to honor something that someone asked us to talk about. What if it was up to you? What is the first beer that? Is it Dragon's Milk?
Finish the prompt.
Okay. Former producer, multi-time fired employee Joshua Elsas, officially multi-time fired employee Joshua Elsas, officially is a father. God help us all in that case. Shout out to Lance for being the guiding force in that one. But Joshua Elsas asked us.
He would have not done well as the woman in that relationship. So.
For sure. What is the first beer that we are going to give one Elsas child when he is of drinking age or close to drinking age, or when he is a teenager and he's bugging us to have a sip of beer? So.
I thought it was as a baby.
Well.
Hence Dragon's Milk.
Hence Dragon's Milk. Okay, I was looking at it from like that's why I put 15 in the chat. It's like that's when I had my first sip of beer. So.
Yeah, like, so that's interesting because his first beer I wouldn't give him a home style because he wouldn't get it.
Nah, that's
like,
true. Okay.
I remember, like the first beer
I
had was.
What your first beer was?
Yeah, it was a gold label. It's terrible.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Found them in the basement. Chip had them hidden, and I took them and started drinking them. I was like, this tastes like fucking ass.
How old were you?
That was 17.
Okay.
16 or 17.
Okay. Yeah, same for me. My first beer was a Yingling, and I was.
And what do you? Same for me on the year. I was gonna say that is not the same. That is a good.
No. I meant the year. I was 16. I think I was 17. I believe it was either 16 or 17, and it was Yingling because I remember I was sitting around a fire.
Yep.
A fire pit, and like there was just Yingling like cans like around, and that's why I was just drinking the whole night. But yeah, Yingling was the first beer I ever had in my life. So.
Nice.
Yeah, but no, like just in okay. So if we're talking baby, you're saying Dragon's Milk, but
yes.
Like if you're talking in general, what's the first beer you would want to give the one Elsas offspring in this sense?
Yeah. So the fun parts about the beer is that Josh would already do Icy Light. And Josh would probably already do Yingling. So mine would probably go to... Because if I'm assuming he's doing those two, and I'm trying to think of another like iconic one, that is a shitty light beer. I would definitely go Rolling Rock.
Ooh, okay. I like that.
Lance would do PBR. Josh would do Icy Light and Yingling.
Yep.
Rolling Rock is another beer in that category that I don't think either of them would think of.
No, I was wrestling with this a little bit because I was in the same mindset as you. Like Icy Light and Yingling he has down. PBR is both of them to a degree. I also thought Pumpkin as like
Oh, that'd be a lot right out the gate.
It is a lot. It is a lot, but hear me out. I also thought like if I'm gonna expose this dude, I need to get him like right away. Like just get him like just the full front of like whatever we expect from beer. So I thought like pumpkin or even perhaps like 2X IPA even if I wanted to. But
you're an asshole.
I am an asshole. But I also decided since it is me and since I am choosing this, I think I need to start them off with like the bare minimum taste because like to me, this doesn't have like any back taste. This doesn't have any like strong after effect, whatever. It's just the most basic beer you can possibly get.
Strong after effect, yeah.
I would give him Guinness.
Yep. Yeah, that tracks. That tracks.
For me, it tracks, but then it also like if you think about it, like if you're drinking
a first beer, yeah.
It's a great first beer. You're drinking it like it just goes down smooth and whatnot, and it's kind of like it looks like a frothy chocolate milk, perhaps.
I think those are both the correct answers, but then us together, we would give him Lil Cindy.
Yes, we would. Absolutely.
So.
Yes.
What's the kid's middle name?
Charles.
Is it Charles?
Yes.
Are you lying?
No, I'm not lying.
Who's Charles?
His grandfather's name.
I thought it was Chuck.
What do you think Chuck is short for?
Chucky. Yeah, fuck you. Got your ass there, bitch. Oh, man. Fucking got you. Greg, I will be home. Oh, updates for you. We can do this on air. I drive home the 23rd.
I will be in Louisville that day.
Yeah. So, well, okay. What are you doing in Louisville that day?
Pitt's got a road game against Louisville.
Oh.
That's the road game I'm going to this year.
Oh. Damn, I wish you would have told me. I would have gone to the game with you.
Might not be too late to get a ticket.
No, here's what I would have to do. The problem is, though, I'm driving home that weekend. And so if I came up to the game, I would need someone to watch Bean for that night. I'd have to drive 2 hours back to Nashville, and then that would be 9.5 hours. So
yeah, bad planning.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe because if I leave here at like 5 or 6, it's normally 2 to 3 hours to Louisville. I could text you driving through, and you could see it. Yeah, but also I'll be home. So shut the fuck up. What I'm saying, I leave the 23rd. I get to my parents that night. We are going to see Pentatonics. What's the a cappella group?
That's what's called.
Yeah. We're going on Sunday night, the 24th. We're going to see them in Pittsburgh do Christmas shit. The 25th, awesome. 26th, 27th, I'll just be working for my parents, so maybe one of those nights. And then Thanksgiving 28th, I drive back the 30th. So quick trip. I might be in Pittsburgh maybe Monday or Tuesday we meet the Pingarees at a brewery or something, do some shit like that. Christmas, though, I drive back the 21st.
Okay.
And then Kat flies in the 25th.
She's flying on Christmas, wow.
And then we don't leave till the 4th, as of right now.
Damn, dude. Holy shit.
So I will have 2 weeks home. Now, here's the thing. That Friday or Saturday, so Friday the 27th, we're supposed to go over to Moorhead's for dinner. Ian texted me and said that him and Austin and Kyle, which I'm trying to figure out if it's my buddy Kyle Harrell or if it's just another Kyle, they're having a concert at the Moorhead's house the 28th. So I don't know what the fuck's happening there.
I don't know what that is.
Who did the Steelers play the December 29th? Or no, we play on Christmas, huh?
We do. It's the Chiefs game, yeah.
Okay, I was going to say, anyways, maybe we might drive into the city the 29th to watch football or something. I don't know yet. Okay. New Year's, we're I think going to spend it at the Pingarees and just chill. But the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, I'll be off. I think she'll be off. So those, we'll be back for 2 weeks.
Yeah, listen, like I will let you know. I'm just pointing you out right now. So like the entire week from like Christmas to New Year's, I am off that entire week.
Yeah. So one thing her and I talked about, when was it? Maybe if we have dinner. I don't know if it was the day after. What I might try to do is make our dinner at my cousin, like at the Moorheads, the 28th before their concert, because we'll just be there. And if that happens, what Kat and I were talking about is coming down to the city the 27th, and then either crashing with you or crashing with the Pingrees the 27th into the 28th, drive home, spend the 28th, 29th with my parents, come back into the city the 31st for New Year's, and then drive back to my parents the 1st. And then we would still have Thursday night and Friday night. And then we'll drive back to Nashville the 4th because I'll be back at work on the 6th.
Yeah, no, listen, we can absolutely make that work. And hear me out too. Like I anytime that like I've had like friends of mine that have come back to visit or anything, like they've always been consistent with me. It's like, hey, instead of like trying to drive around and like see,
yeah, I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah, don't do that. Like literally just say, this is where we will be. If you can come see us, come see us. If you can't, no harm, no foul.
Yeah, just, I think
be selfish in this case.
Well, I get back the 21st, so we'll land, hang out. 22nd, I'll probably just stay in Kiski and hang out with my parents.
Yeah.
Same 23rd. I don't know. 22nd maybe. I don't know. 23rd chill. 24th Christmas Eve. 25th Christmas Cat gets in. 26th we'll definitely just spend all day with my parents. 27th I'll probably try to come down, see everybody. 28th do family stuff and be back maybe for football the 29th. No promises. Be there for New Year's, and then we might try to hang around the city New Year's Day and just see. So I don't know because but it's literally I texted Boyd, the Pingrees, and you. And then I'll let Cody and Lily know, and that's pretty much it.
Okay. Yeah, we can absolutely make it work. Hey, listen, for Christmas Day, by chance, like, do you know when Kat gets in?
She flies in at 1.
If you want, because I don't have to be at my parents' for, like...
You're good, dude. We eat at my Aunt Judy's at 1, and so they live in Penn Trafford, so I'll be at the airport. I'll pick her up. We'll go there for an hour and a half, and then go back to my parents for theirs. Yeah, you're fine, dude.
All right. Just offering to.
No. Yeah. Oh, I appreciate it. We already, like, she bought the tickets about a month and a half ago. We've already planned out the whole day.
So just out of curiosity, like, because like she's gonna be here for a while, like, are you guys doing anything like with her family for Christmas or no?
No, that's why she's flying. So her family hangs out Christmas Eve. She won't get until the 25th, and then she'll only be here for a week and a half, and I'll be here for 2 full weeks.
Only for a week and a half. That's a long time in Pittsburgh. Like, hopefully she doesn't get sick of us.
Long time in Kiski. Yeah.
Long time in Kiski. Fuck,
yeah, but we'll only be down like there's a chance on the 22nd I go to meet my dynasty team for a beer just to watch. I don't know if it's a Steelers game or football or something.
Do you have your suit ready? Just saying.
No, so that's the other league. Dynasty doesn't do suits.
Sorry.
You're good. And then, so then we'll be back down maybe the Friday the 27th, and then back down for New Year's, which, like, does anything happen for New Year's? Is it still, like, people buy tickets to go to bars and shit? Like, we're not doing that, don't get me wrong. I didn't know if there was anything exciting in the city.
They still do the first night thing, like, downtown, but that's about
cool.
it. That they still do that. In terms of like getting into bars, I don't know about like tickets or anything like that, but like some might do it. Like I have not been out on New Year's Day in a long ass time, so like I couldn't tell you.
I have no ambition to do that. I'll be in footed pajamas.
Yeah, no, I don't care, dude. I don't care like what you want to do. The only thing I ask is like if you're gonna crash my house, for the love of God, sleep in the bed with your girlfriend.
Nope. Please. I'm going to pee on your counter. Fuck you. What I was thinking is maybe the 27th, if we're down, we do that one at Trace. And then Wednesday the 1st, we'll see if Cinderlands is open that day, because I know Trace won't be. But I might try to see if 27th. I would like to go to Goldmark. I don't want to go to Goldmark at night.
Nugget will be pissed at you if you don't want to go.
Dude, I already told him last time I was bringing all this and didn't. So I honestly, what might happen is, Friday if we go out and hang out and we have dinner, I don't know. I'll plan it out. I have no idea. It sounds terrible.
If you do end up going to Trace, you got to go to Tina's beforehand. I think that would be a nice.
Well, you would be there.
Well, yeah, but it's also like a nice little like pre-date spot for you and the missus too.
I don't need it. I'm only in Pittsburgh for 2 weeks.
All right, fair.
So that is the plan. So mark your calendars accordingly.
All right, I like it. Like, listen, like the entire week between Christmas and New Year's, I take off simply for couple reasons. One, I deserve the time off, and two, so that whoever is in town, I can like plan accordingly
Yeah.
to be like, this is who I will take off for. This is who I'm seeing in all this bullshit. Because like, I know I gotta see you. I gotta see my friend Adam and his wife. I
Yep.
gotta see Rap. So anyone who else is in town will.
Where's Rep? Is he Florida?
He is Florida. He is Bradenton, Anna Maria Island area.
That's right. That's right. Cool. Well, good. Well, we made our plan, Greg.
Made it. We'll figure it out as we go. Yeah.
Good.
If you make me watch, oh, dude, I was just realized this too. Like, it'll be that should be college football playoff time too.
Yeah, it's around then because we just did our Surf Pro's a client and we just kicked them off on what we want to do for their bowl game, the First Responders Bowl on the 3rd. So that'll be playoff time.
That's gonna be really cool. Yeah, it should be playoff time. Oh, that's gonna be awesome. Did you like the CFP reveal when you watched it?
Yeah, I thought it was awesome, dude. I'm all in. I'm all in on all that shit. I think the tough thing, like you said, the BYU thing is tough for people to understand, which is hilarious to me. I loved it though.
What I loved is that. So first off, like I think they kind of copped themselves out by putting Boise State at 12, because the way it's supposed to work is like the highest non-conference champion gets the 12 seed. So they just like automatically made Boise State the 12 ranked team to like say, oh yeah, they're the 12 ranked team, so therefore they get this. It's like, really? Like, come on. Like, I'm curious how that goes, like moving forward. But at the same time, as a fan of college football and a fan of a team in college football, if Pitt would have beat SMU, motherfucker, we would have been the number 1 team out.
Dude, it would
which
have been
makes
sick.
me so goddamn mad. But still.
Good. All right, Greg, go enjoy some Thursday Night Football, my friend. Next week we brew a beer.
I cannot wait to hear about this. I'm probably going to have to reread the Taste of Beer book that LSS bought me like a couple years ago at this point, so we'll figure it out.
At least bring it to the conversation.
I can't wait for you to tell me like this whole process, this whole mindset, and I also can't wait for you to tell me like what you decide you want to brew as well, which is going to be even wild to hear that.
Yeah, I'm excited to go through it.
Yeah.
And then we'll figure it out.
And then when you're home, we can do the Malik tour.
Yeah. Yes.
The Malik tour is going to be a long day.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Sid, for commenting. We'll see you guys next week.